Here. Bill Random.
Here.
Chris Zellner.
Here.
Phil Willems.
Here.
Aaron Moran. Here.
Okay, first thing, we have confirmation of open meeting compliance, public postings, official notices, and online availability. Caitlin?
I can confirm that the draft agenda was published in the newspaper. Packets were made available online, and everything's good.
Thank you. Next, we have consent agenda. Would anybody like anything pulled or look for a motion?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Sue Springman, second by Bill Random. A little faster tonight. Any other comments? Call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment. Is there anyone here who would like to address the board on an issue that's not on the agenda for this evening? We have two hands that are up. I'm going to go left to right tonight, if that's okay.
Linda Ashmore, 114 South Street, and I'm just requesting that the portion of the meeting that says you could go into closed session to discuss the potential sale of the library be done in open session. There's a lot of public interest in the library, has been for the last couple of years at least, and so I think that for transparency's sake, that it would be a good thing. Thank you.
Nyla Fry, 404 East Verline Avenue. I wanted to thank the Streets Department for doing a wonderful job clearing the snow, working a lot of hard, long hours, bad hours, and just to say thanks, and please tell your staff that it's much appreciated.
Will do. Thank you. I think that does deserve a round of applause. Todd, any public comments for this evening?
Nyla took a little bit of my thunder, but I totally agree. This is just one of several emails that we've gotten that Bill has seen. We forwarded them on when we get those comments, but there's a lot of appreciation for their work. I do want to, for both the village board and the general public who may agree with the resolution that the board passed last year in support of the dark store and Walgreens loophole closure with the state legislature. It wasn't approved last year. There was some progress, but it wasn't brought to the floor for discussion. This year, a bill is being introduced again. There's also word that Governor Evers plans to include provisions in his budget bill. One way or another, we're hoping to see this action taken care of. So for those who agree with what the board passed in the resolution, I'm going to be forwarding an email, or maybe it was already in your update email, that has a very easy way to ask our legislators to sign on as co-sponsors. So if you just look up on the screen, this is the email that I'll forward to you. This is from the League of Wisconsin Municipalities. If you scroll down here, I know it's really kind of small, but it'll say email your legislators. If you click that, it takes you to a service that the league has set up called the Action Center. And from here, they summarize the issue at hand. Then they identify a very basic message here. You put in your name and your address, and it automatically finds your legislators for you. Obviously, we know who they are, but this takes away the work of finding their email addresses. And you click send, and your job is done. So my request for the board is that everybody take literally seconds to do this. And for anybody in the public, please ask our legislators to co-sign.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, move on. Presentations. Discuss and take action on proclamation for Julie Helt. I don't know that we need any discussion to start with, but I'll look for a motion to approve.
I move we issue the proclamation.
Motion by Phil Willems,
Second.
second by Aaron Rand. Call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Julie, come on up. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a proclamation honoring Julie Helt. Whereas the Village of Waunakee values its employees and entrusts them with providing services to its residents, and whereas Julie Helt has been a longstanding employee of the Village of Waunakee, serving as village clerk since 2000, and prior to that serving as administrative assistant to the Public Work Director, starting in 1996, and whereas the residents of the Village of Waunakee have long enjoyed the benefits of great village clerk department and engineering department, And whereas Julie Helt for the past 22 years worked alongside staff at all levels in departments to ensure success for the village clerk's office and other village departments. And whereas Julie Helt has been instrumental in helping guide and grow the village as a community. And whereas Julie Helt has been dedicated to making the village a better community by contributing to numerous outside organizations related to her position, including serving as president of the Wisconsin Municipal Clerk Association. And whereas Julie Helt has conducted many fair, honest, and secure elections with the assistance of outstanding volunteers and poll workers. And whereas the village board and the residents of the village of Waunakee benefited greatly from Julie Helt's devotion, her dedication, and hard work.
Before you go on, can I interrupt for just a second? There's a few more whereases. If on the podium there's a little sheet, if you just turn that over. A couple others. I don't know if you could, would you mind adding those in?
Can we do that? Is the board okay with doing
Probably
that?
not. But maybe just for fun then.
Okay, for just fun, this isn't part of the actual proclamation. Whereas Julie served the village hall staff by providing us with a jar of peanut M&Ms, which seemed to magically never go empty, and whereas Julie's official commitments to the village often came before the needs of her family, without the support of her children and her husband Mike, she would have been unable to serve the village as well as she did.
Where are they?
So it actually says break for applause for her family, so you need to be louder than that apparently with your applause to get them.
Their commitments.
And whereas we are saddened that the village hall carpeting and boardroom audience chairs were never replaced to her liking. And whereas Julie hates this kind of recognition, so to keep it short, we left out a bunch of really good things she did. And whereas now President Zellner can just finish the rest of the proclamation. Okay. Now therefore be it resolved that the village board of the village of Waunakee extends its sincere and heartfelt appreciation to Julie Helt for her untiring devotion to the village of Waunakee, village staff, and Waunakee residents. Let this resolution be entered into and made part of the permanent records of the village of Waunakee, and let a suitable copy be presented to Julie Helt, passed and adopted this 18th day of February 2019. Special signing pens, so I have one of those for her to sign her proclamation.
Never heard my name that many times in one sentence. Not even from my mother.
Is that a good thing? Would you like to say anything to everybody?
No, other than thank you.
No, we want to thank you for so many years. Me as village president, these last several years, it was awesome working with you. Very helpful on everything you did, very professional. I appreciate that. I wasn't able to be at your party, so I got you a little extra something from me. There's your pen.
Thank you.
There's your proclamation.
Thank you.
Let's give one round of
Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate it.
And you are excused if you want to leave. You don't have to stay tonight. This is absolutely one of those. And I'm going to do this, just because Julie got this for me and I never use it. And she said, maybe you'll want to use it at some point, so I just used it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, licenses and permits. Discuss and take action on operator license applications for Christine Gierke and Michael Angel Garcia Angeles.
Included in your packet tonight are the consideration of the operator license. We recommend approval of these subject to completion of approved responsible beverage server training course and review by the Waunakee Police Department.
Okay, look for a motion.
I move we approve the operator licenses applications for Christine Gerke and Michael Angel Garcia /Angelos, subject to successful completion of approved responsible beverage server training course and review by the Waunakee Police Department.
Okay, motion by Phil Willems. Second. Second by Joe Zitzelberger. Any other comments? Call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. New business. Discuss potential sale of village property at 710 South Street, the existing library site. So we had a request from people to keep this in open session. However, it's a negotiation, so I don't know if that would, I mean,
I think we can share about what's been happening up to date.
I don't know what I'm authorized to say, so you go right ahead.
I think
I don't
there's
know what
some,
you're authorized to say either.
no, I think there's some fair things to talk about where we're at where we've been at with the library.
Okay.
But certainly when it comes down to discussing parameters of a sale, potential price, where we are essentially negotiating with another party, and there's reason for that discussion to not be publicly discussed, wherein the other party would have clear knowledge of the discussion, that's where I think the line would then, I mean, you can stay in open session for that, but I think that's where Brian and I would advise that you go into closed session. So, the work on the old library, there's nothing up there, I can probably turn this off. The work on the old library essentially started when we had an appraisal done of the property a year and a half ago, maybe. It was appraised at 1.1 million. And the village board has consistently identified the library building and the sale of it, the proceeds from a sale, as a component of the financial solution for a new library. We've always had that listed in the pro forma. Most recently, we identified it as placeholder was at $800,000 in the pro forma, but in that it was just a placeholder. Certainly there is a prime opportunity. There is going to be the right time to put it on the market, and we're starting to discuss that opportunity now. If to put it on the market 2 years ago wouldn't have made a great deal of sense because the library still had years of need from the facility. Between the new library taking shape and our progression with that, and today, the village has probably been approached by 3 or 4 parties who have expressed, I would just say, kind of organic interest in the property, just knowing that it would be coming up for sale. So what we do have is one party who has significant interest and wants and in discussing with Chris, we want to consider how we might go about initiating discussion with that particular group. Or the village board may say, no, we might want to just put it on the market straight up, which are both options available to the board. So that's where we've been. Happy to try and answer any questions that would be pertinent and good for open session if you have them.
Okay, so as far as this goes, I'll just comment that we are in a negotiation and we have a potential user buyer for the existing library, for their protection, for our protection. That's all I can say at this time.
The one thing I would add, if I could, is, can I?
Yes, you may.
Is that depending on the use, I would expect it to be likely that it won't be another library. And we have approached the school, and the school has indicated that they are not interested in the property. So in all likelihood, it won't be an institutional building. I think church might fit in that, however, as well. But we've not been approached by any other quote-unquote institutional users. Therefore, a rezoning may need to occur. If that does occur, there's an elaborate process in coordinating rezoning. So it's important for the neighbors of the existing library to know and understand that if there's another potential user and a sale is pursued with that person, we'd also have to talk about a rezoning, which would involve a public process, public hearings, and notification to the neighbors who are immediately adjacent. So I think it's important for everybody to understand that.
And the public can also assume that as soon as we can give out that information about who the potential buyers are, we will get that out as soon as we possibly can. Okay. So the village board may convene in closed session as authorized by Wisconsin statute 19.851E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business. Whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session, the village board may reconvene in open session and discuss and take action on the subject matter discussed in closed session. So I'd look for a motion to go into closed session.
I move we go into closed session.
Motion by Phil Williams, second by Bill Ranum. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zitzelberger? Yes. Trustee Springman? Trustee Ranum?
Yes.
Trustee Willems?
Yes.
Trustee Moran?
Yes.
President Androni? Or, oh my gosh, President Zellner.
Wrong village.
Wrong village. The wrong village.
You know, he doesn't impress me that much either.
I have to say you're speaking for all of us.
Oh my gosh.
I'll say,
Zellner.
did you say my name eventually?
Yes, President Zellner.
Yes. Keith, do not edit that. evaluation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility. The village board may reconvene in open session and discuss and take action on the subject matter discussed in closed session. So I'd look for a motion on that one as well.
Move we go into closed session for the
Phil
review.
Well, we were friends.
Second by Aaron Moran. Roll call
Have a
vote.
good time in Florida.
Trustee Moran?
Yes.
Trustee Willems?
Yes.
Trustee Uranum?
Yes.
Trustee Springman?
Yes.
Trustee Zitzelberger?
Yes.
President Zellner?
Yes.
She learns.
She's